supported by Order and Ease Delivery Only Restaurant and Shots Professional Courses from the League of Entrepreneurs.
Before we get started, here's a little something our lawyers insisted we share with you. The thoughts and words and stories of our guests belong solely to them. If you decide to act on anything you hear about today, unless it benefits our guests, or us, or both, please leave us out of it. With that covered, let's jump into the world of How Did I Get Here? Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to How Did I Get Here?
Thank you very much.
Most influencers, and I believe that's how you introduce yourself to the producers, right?
Yes.
Shy away from telling their story. I'm sorry to hit you with kind of like a hard question from the beginning.
That's fine.
I want to understand why you accepted to come on this show.
It's going to give me a platform to talk. I don't think I've really done something like this before. I think people out there would want to hear from me. So I'm like, okay, why not?
So tell us about yourself.
Mabel Charlie, that's my name. I am a level 300 student of University of Ghana, reading social work and French. I'm also a beautician and a young entrepreneur.
The rejections that we got inviting influencers to come on this show to speak their truth, what do you think contributed to that?
When they say somebody's an influencer here in Ghana, it comes with a lot of things. So I think people are scared they are going to be asked certain questions that they are supposed to be answerable for. So to run away from that, then I wouldn't even come.
How's life as an influencer? Take us through the typical day of life as an influencer.
To me, influencing is not something I do 100% like how other people do. So I would say influencing is about 30% of my life. I only do it when I have time, when I'm on vacation or I have free time. So it's more or less like a hobby for me. It's not really like a work that I fully depend on. That's all I can say about influencing.
How many followers do you have on, let's say, Instagram?
I have over 200k followers on Instagram.
Wait, 200,000?
Yeah, 200,000 followers.
Your DMs must be buzzing.
I mean, it comes with it.
What are some of the weirdest messages you've ever received?
Okay, so I would like to clear this. My topmost DM is about people wanting to know if I am behind these scam accounts. There are a lot of people scamming me out there, and it's funny how they are able to know my real account after they are being scammed. So it's very rampant on Facebook. The only account I have is Mabime, but people use my pictures to scam people. It's not even here in Ghana. I mean, Ghana is part, but outside the country. So people want to know if it's me, and I'm saying it's not me. And secondly, I mean, you have one or two people hitting you up, artists, whatever, wanting to see you. That's what goes on in DM. So that's what is going on in my DM.
I think recently the Ghana Police Service set up a cyber crime unit. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't heard about that, but there's been so many instances. Even during last month, the call that woke me up was from headquarters that somebody has come there to lodge a complaint that I have scammed the person for their money. So at a point, it was becoming unbecoming. So I had to go there and then also make a case. So when they called me, I'm like, I had things on my plate to finish and it couldn't just jump into my schedule. So I would come there later and then rectify since I've already reported the case. I haven't heard about that, but people also go there to make a report about me scamming them.
Then let's set the record straight. Are you a scammer?
No.
How many accounts do you have?
I have
Instagram?
one account on Instagram.
What's the handle?
Mabi_me. That's it.
Mabi_me.
Yes.
Any other accounts?
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
Yes.
And you are not a scammer.
No.
You mentioned you have a lot of artists and other people in your DMs.
Yeah.
Are we talking like international level artists or pub and bar artists? I mean,
Every worldwide, whatever, international, local, every side.
would you permit me to ask more about that? Are you comfortable speaking
Oh
more
yeah, I'm
about that?
okay.
So have you ever met any of them up?
I'll say one Ghanaian and one international. I don't want to specify here.
Of course. Was it a good experience?
I don't want to sound negative, but times with this artist doesn't normally end well. I think that is what should advise people. You see them out there all flashy, you think they are doing well than the people you have in your life, but see, you have better people than that artist. Me, to my experience, it never gets well with the both of us.
Is that what influenced you to get into other activities like the business you mentioned?
Yes, but I didn't want to fixate my life around these people in the industry, even though we are all in it. I didn't want to base my life specifically on them.
What do you do aside influencing them?
So I mentioned I'm a young entrepreneur. I produce Alata soap, Mabitone Alata soap and Mabitone Alata gel. And I am a makeup artist. I also do the makeup part-time because of school. So when I'm free on vacations, sometimes I take some bookings and I work on people. And sometimes I'm mostly at the shop too. I have a shop that is regulating.
A physical shop?
Yes.
Nice.
And so when I'm free, I'm at the shop. Most of the time I'm at the shop or in school. So I have a lot of things going on. I'm not too free.
Schooling, having a shop, influencing. Did you do your own makeup?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's good. So self-advertisement.
Yes.
Okay. How's business selling the Alata soap?
It's challenging. To me, one thing in Ghana, I don't know. I'm in Ghana, so I am going to base it as Ghanaian. One thing working here, one thing that makes it difficult is getting good people to work with. You will start something nice, and alongside you can't do it alone, but getting good people to work with is one challenge in the world of business. But so far so good. Yeah, there's always a reason to quit, but I don't think I want to quit, so it hasn't been easy, but yeah.
How many years have you been selling Alata soap?
For about 3 years now.
36 months is a long time.
Yes.
So in the beginning,
Yeah.
I mean, you're an influencer.
Yes.
Running a business and being an influencer are two different things. Did you get any help starting the business?
Okay, so starting the business, yes, I had to. I needed help because I started very early. I started, I think, 3 months after I completed high school. I wanted to do something with my life, so that was where I decided to go and learn the makeup. I learned the makeup and I applied for the university, and so after enrolling in the makeup school for a year, I had got my admission into the University of Ghana, and I had opened the shop too. So I felt like it was a mistake going to school, and then later I had to open the shop and still add the school to it. But kakran kakra, and then I was okay.
Typically, we wait till the end of the show before we ask for words of encouragement, but you are an influencer with close to 250,000 people looking at you every day on your account or following your account every day. You started a business. You've spoken about your idea on education, and now the internet is the most powerful force. So
moving forward, I would like you to address, and there's a lot of people that want to be influencers and do what you're saying. So let's start with influencing. What would you tell people that want to enter influencing? Because a lot of people, even that come to our business or that approach us, when you ask them, what do you want to be in life? Some of the young people are always like, I want to be an influencer. Is that a profession that you would advise everybody to go into, or most people to go into?
Influencing is paying. I mean, if you do it full time and you have time, it's paying. But personally, I will tell you to come prepared. You know the pros and cons of it. You just have to come prepared. But living life as an influencer, I think you would have to add up. I don't know if it's because of the point I'm coming from, because I don't. So what if you are there a week and then nobody asks you to promote their stuff? So what are you going to do for food? What are you going to do for dresses? What are you going to do for makeup? And you have to always keep up. You have to always look good as an influencer. So what are you going to do for money? And it doesn't even pay much. To me, it doesn't pay much, because living in Ghana now, rent, food, and then just living as an influencer as a full-time work, to me, it doesn't sound too good. So I think you would have to add up something and maybe do that as a part-time job, or that's it. So you do something, but the influencing, if you have a free time, you influence and then you make some little money out of it.
You said come prepared for the pros and the cons. What are some of the things that you think the young ones that are looking to be like you should be worried about?
I think they should be focused. In the world of influencing, it comes with a lot of things. A lot of things like the moment you lose guard, you are going to have a lot. You sit back and look back and you know that you've done a whole lot in the name of influencing. You are going to be having to meet up with artists because you work with them. You are going to meet up with your co-influencers, and at the end of the day, if you don't take care and you are carried away, you are really going to dirty yourself. I don't want to be explicit, but you have to understand you are going to dirty yourself, and instead of it bringing a positive impact on you, at the end of the day, is really going to mess you up. So you have to come prepared.
The account that you built, was it easy getting to 200,000?
No, it wasn't easy at all.
Getting to 200,000. That's why I call you an influencer, because then you can influence. You can influence society. What would you say would be your definition of what an influencer is?
An influencer, you are out there. People know you. You can't have a private life. Anywhere you go, people notice that okay, she's around or he's around. So you sell your privacy. You can't live the normal life like everybody has, assuming I'm here, I want to just go down there and get something. If you are in a trotro, I remember one time I was going for lectures, and that was years back, about 2 years, and I didn't have money, so I had to go the Trotsky way. So I walked down from my junction, got to where I'm supposed to pick the car, and standing there, I got the Trotsky. I went to school. So when immediately I got to the lecture hall, I had a message, and because of how the message started, I'm like, no, let me go and check what the person is saying. And the person was like, you are living a fake life. I saw you in a Trotsky. I'm like, but me, my sorry, Anopana said I don't have money. I think that if I take a Trotsky, it will help me. What is fake about this? And it got to me. I'm like, it got to me. That morning, it got to me. My day was just off. So you have to know all these things. You have to come prepared.
Was that your worst experience as an influencer?
No, the worst experience, I think it changes. Every month you are going to experience something bad. But the recent one is, I remember somebody telling me on Snap that very recently, about 2 weeks ago, that I am not beautiful. And so it is, I'm only curvy, but he thinks I'm not beautiful and I'm not relevant. I called a friend and I'm like, I say na nipa we aka chem you. And also na wo share no kre. And I'm saying the meaning more, like I don't know how, but I don't know why it got to me, because I've heard worse things, but it got to me. Yeah.
What's your coping mechanism when these things happen?
They don't know me. I say they don't know me because they only know what I choose to show you, what I choose to post. So if you are judging me based on that, then you truly don't know me.
The last time I would delve into you being an influencer, so allow me. The person said you're just beautiful and curvy.
Yes.
Do you think you're beautiful and curvy?
With that, I think the reason why I was hurt is I felt there was an iota of truth in what he was saying. I don't know, somehow, some way. So when he said I'm not beautiful and I'm only curvy, it means that's what I am. So when I called the friend and he was like, it's not true. Apart from what you try to show them, you still have a life even after influencing. So why should I be hurt? So that was what just took the whole thing out of my mind.
I've always wondered, I don't think I'm beautiful and curvy, but I've always wondered the life of someone who's beautiful and curvy, where everyone tells you you're beautiful, you're curvy, you're this, you're that. How do you decipher who's good and who's bad? How do you even know who likes you and who doesn't? What's life like?
It's hard, but you will know the real people will stay. And so that is why if you say you are just an influencer, it doesn't make sense to me, because I think you have to build yourself, you have to work on yourself, and this will help you know the kind of people who come into your life as real people and people who just come and then beat around and leave. So if you have all these things and people are in your life for a good reason, you know. If people are in your life because of your body or whatever thing, somehow, some way, you will know. Their actions will give them out, and eventually you will know.
Does being curvy add up to your success as an influencer?
Yes.
How so?
Personally, the most people brands I've worked with are body enhancing brands that were really paying good or are paying good. So imagine if I wasn't curvy, these deals wouldn't come to me. And sometimes some people dash you money. I mean, people come to your DM and they've never seen you before, and it's not scam. They know that, okay, this is you. They don't even have to video call you, but they're like, hey, take this because you are curvy. And it feels good, like it feels very nice.
Do you think a slim person can be a successful influencer?
I mean, it happens, but not in my case. So I won't talk about slim people. I'm talking about curvy people.
Shots fired. Okay. I want you to touch on education, which is important, because you are right. A lot of people are thinking there's other avenues out there aside attaining a formal education. Again, what do you tell such people that feel, I'm an influencer, I could earn some good money, I don't need to go to school?
Me, I think education helps in everything. People, I mean, we are even here, we know education is not really paying in Ghana, but to me, it helps me make certain decisions. It helps me learn how to talk. It grooms me. To me, that is what I think education, the role education is playing in my life.
Being an entrepreneur, building a business, is that something you'd advise everyone to get into?
Yes, that's the only way out now in our country. I mean, even the politicians are saying it, so that's the only way out. Just don't give any small money chance. You have to start from somewhere and end somewhere. If it is 100 cedis that you know that at the end of the week you can make, you know that 100 cedis is yours and nobody can take it from you. So you should start somewhere. No matter how small it is, just start somewhere, and then somehow, someway, you are just going to sail through.
What's the name of your shop?
Beauty by Mabi.
What's the location?
Is at New Achimota, Mile 7.
What are some of the services that one would be treated to if they were to visit?
Makeup, nails, pedicure, manicure, facials.
And you have your own, what you call alata soup?
Yes.
Is it selling of the shops?
Yes. It's what is keeping me going. As for the makeup and things, because of school, you are not always there to supervise. But with the soap, I have people I work with that are not. I'm not supposed to be there to be selling. I'm here, but people are still selling. And I remember when I started the business, that was one advice a friend gave me, that the only time you know you are really working is when you are making money, even when you are not around. And yes, thank you for that.
The grass is always greener on the other side. Mm-hmm. It looks like that's what the story has been in your experience with influencing.
Yes.
What are your final words to those that want to be like Mabume as they see on Instagram?
Hard work pays off. When they say hard work pays off, it really pays off. So just do something with your life. I'll always say there's 1,001 reasons not to do something, but you only need one reason to do it. So just work hard and other things will follow. Thank you, Mabel, for coming. Thank you for having me. Like I said, we reached out to a couple of influencers and I now know why they all said no. Thank you for being blunt. Thank you for owning your story. And there are many people that are being led by influencers that do not understand what it means to be an influencer. It's all about what you show. It's not about what is not on camera. So you telling us what is behind the camera, the normal life of an influencer with the number of following you have, I'm sure will illuminate a lot of people out there. As you put it, they should come prepared for both the pros and the cons. Again, the purpose of this show is to build community. With community comes support, to be educative and to inform people, to arm themselves, to go through the hard times that they go through, so that one day when they sit down and reflect on everything that they've been through, they'll be able to have a good answer when they ask themselves, how did I get here? Check you guys.
Supported by Order and Ease Delivery Only Restaurant and SHOTS Professional Courses from the League of Entrepreneurs. Supported by Order and Ease Delivery Only Restaurant and SHOTS Professional Courses from the League of Entrepreneurs.
Before we get started, here's a little something our lawyers insisted we share with you. The thoughts and words and stories of our guests belong solely to them. If you decide to act on anything you hear about today, unless it benefits our guests, or us, or both, please leave us out of it. With that covered, let's jump into the world of How Did I Get Here?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling fine, and you?
I'm doing great. You are welcome to How Did I Get Here?
Thank you.
I'm a bit confused as to how to address you. Do I call you Your Excellency? What's your title?
Queen.
Queen?
Yeah.
Take me down the journey of how you became queen with the royal crown.
Okay, so I actually started my pageant journey when I was in SHS. Yes, I started from there. I won first phase of Ben School first runner-up, and from there came to the university and won Mr. Kwaba first runner-up, and then came to the national pageant Miss Tourism Ghana, and I became the queen.
So what's your full title with your name, the full title?
It's Queen Christabel Inshui Japan.
How long have you been queen?
Since September last year.
Was it a difficult pageant to win?
Yes, quite difficult, because Miss Tourism Ghana doesn't allow you to represent the region you are from. So you ballot and choose another region, and that is the region you are supposed to learn about and then represent throughout the journey. So I balloted, I picked Bunu region, even though I'm from the Eastern region, and then I had to do research, learn their dance. And I don't know how to dance, so that was like the biggest part of it all. I remember telling some of my instructors to have patience with me, especially when it comes to the dance, because I'm a slow learner, I'll pick it up. And then they did. It was quite hectic at a point, because when we went to the camp house, we went to the camp house, it was like a boot camp. So you're waking up at 4:30 a.m. There's devotion, there's fitness. Right from there, you have breakfast. There's a cultural instructor, your catwalk instructor. It was like one thing after the other, like that. It was some way. Everything was happening so fast. And then being somebody who is usually pampered by my mother at home, I'm like, I can't do this. I really want to go home. But then I was like, no, I'm here for a reason. I have friends who really wanted me to be here, so I cannot fail them. That's why I kept going. I did my best, and I think that's what won their hearts.
Your best was obviously good enough.
I think so.
So, Queen, who organizes the Miss Tourism pageantry in Ghana?
Okay, so the name of the CEO is Mrs. Delphine Brew Hammond. She started a pageant 13 years ago. There's a 14th edition, the one that's coming. Yeah, and then it's the Miss Tourism organization under her rule. It's collaborated with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and then the Ghana Tourism Authority. So they come together to bring all of this out, together with other sponsors of the pageant.
Would you say it was easy to win the pageant?
No, I would never say that. It was difficult. First of all, it had to do with culture, tourism, and then I wasn't allowed to speak a lot of Twi when I was young. Just that I went to a lot of excursions, so that's side different. It was based, some parts of it was based on votes, and the economy is hard, so it was difficult getting people on board to vote for you and all of that. But at the same time, I think that it was quite easy a bit, because looking at some other contestants and then the things that they do, I think that was slightly ahead. Yeah, because I had the exposure. I know what tourism is about. I could read and research wider. I'm intelligent. So it gave me more time to help others as well, even in the competition.
When they announced that you have finally won, do you remember how that felt like?
Yes, I do. I was on stage and then they mentioned my name. You see, they start awarding like sashes, maybe Miss Photogenic and Miss Culture, or that. So I was getting a lot of the sashes, and I realized that, okay, it's possible I'm going to win. At that time, the only thing I was contemplating on was my vote, because I'm on stage, I cannot see what's going on. Yes, but then when they mentioned my name, I saw my mother bend, she was crying. I was signaling her, you're supposed to be in posture, smiling and all of that, but I was like trying to signal her, get up, I won, like don't cry. But she wasn't seeing it.
Post-winning, are there responsibilities that you're given as Miss Tourism? A queen has to serve her people.
Yeah. So as Miss Tourism Ghana, you are supposed to be the ambassador for tourism in Ghana. You're supposed to collaborate with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture and the Ghana Tourism Authority. You're supposed to be present at events, especially supporting tourism in Ghana. You are supposed to promote tourism in any way that you can, being it the way you dress, the things you even post on your social media, your hair, everything. Like your life is supposed to be about tourism. You are supposed to embark on a social project that is also targeted at tourism in the country. And so I thought of it all, and it's like, I'm from the Eastern region, and tourist attractions in the Eastern region, there's quite a lot. So why don't I do something for the youth? Because they are supposed to be leaders in society in some years to come. So I thought of the term swag, which is like a youth term, like the way you dress and all of that. So I named my initiative Swag Ghana Initiative, where that's an acronym. So S stands for Speak Ghana, W for Wear, A for Appreciate, and G for Grow Ghana. Nice. Just in this month, we are going to be visiting schools in Accra, and then we are doing a collaboration with the Kids in Tourism organization as well. So we teach these children, we speak to them, ask them questions, how much they know of tourism, and then give them some gifts. But we're not going to do that only in Accra. We're going to also be looking at the Eastern region as well. But with them also, we are going to have like competitions for them. So that's something to energize them, something to make tourism quite attractive to them. Because that's what I think Ghana lacks. Tourism is more attractive to the citizens.
You are Miss Tourism 2022.
Yes.
What stands you apart from the other Miss Tourism?
Previous years, when you are in a competition, you hear that, okay, some of the queens dropped out during their reign, some of them fell out, some of them had issues with management and all of that. I think so far, my reign is the bougiest of them all. Nice. Because I've missed an event just once, and that was because I was not feeling well, like medically. But then my princesses, my first runner-up and second runner-up for Miss Tourism, we call them princesses because I'm the queen. They have also not missed that event ever since. And that alone too is a bragging right, because under my reign, people I'm coordinating with, or my princesses, have been doing their job beautifully. We do our best to be present. We haven't had issues with any like ministers calling our organization that your queen is doing this. And I feel like amongst the three of us, the queens, I'm the dark one. They're all light skinned, and then it sets me apart. It makes me feel beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yes, I feel very beautiful, and then it's great because every time we are going somewhere, management is like, okay, the queens, let them speak. They're going for interviews, and then they're not panicking because they know that they can speak. They are smart. They can answer questions and all of that. It's smooth. It's quite exciting and adventurous too.
You've really enjoyed your reign.
I have. I mean, sometimes it's heartbreaking when you go to events and then like people older than you, way older than you, are opening the door for you, and sometimes people are holding your bag. I feel bad, but then again, I'm reminded that is the opportunity I have, and so I should enjoy it. Because I mean, it's just a year.
You exude a certain confidence and black excellence, and I would like you to delve into where you got. What are you tapping into? What's your source of inspiration for who you have become?
From the beginning, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't like that. I had situations where people are taking pictures with their friends. They're like, "You are too dark. We can't see you," or "You smiling like your gum is too dark," and stuff like that. From the beginning, I wasn't really confident. I didn't really like my body. I didn't really like my skin. I felt like I was skinny, and then I went to SHS. I gained weight. I came back. My father was like, "You are not learning. That's why I gained weight." People started talking. You are becoming fat, and it was like too much pressure on me. And I realized that no, you have to look at the things that you want for yourself. So right from there, I started reading a lot of books. I'm quite open-minded, so I realized that no, I cannot let the things that people say pull me down. And then this is the things I like to do. So if I don't flaunt my skin, I don't flaunt who I am, nobody's going to do that for me.
True. People buy what they see, or they buy into the confidence. And as of now, you have become a symbol for, especially after the interview you have granted us, a symbol for everyone that has confidence, insecurities. What would you tell them are some of the practical steps, and again, practical steps that you took towards overcoming these insecurities that you had?
I think, first of all, daily affirmations works because it's done a lot for me. Right now, I still have this app that gives me notification 3 times every day. I take my time, I read whatever it's saying, I sink it deep inside me, because I'm in a position where people are going to say a lot about you. Sometimes you go somewhere, people are doing makeup for you, and they're like, I feel like this part of your skin is getting a lighter. What cream are you using? And things like that. And then you're like, no, I'm a beauty queen. I cannot distort my skin. So there's pressure, but then I have daily affirmations. Tell yourself you are beautiful. Tell yourself you look great. Because the motive or the philosophy I've been working with ever since is that if you don't build your own dreams, some people will hire you to build their own. They will use you to build theirs. So you have to build your own dreams. So work on daily affirmations. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do the things that you think you like. Be selfish at a point, because if you're not selfish, you end up doing things to please others and you lose your real identity.
How's SWAG going?
SWAG is going just fine. Like I said, we are looking forward to tour the schools in the country, hopefully mostly in Accra, and then also we're going to the eastern region as well. We'll have some planting sessions where we're planting trees for the the students so that they can sit under when there is like break and then have some shade. All of that is going to be like a symbol for them. And then they'll like it. I really like the excitement on their faces when we go to see them every single time. And then through the help of my management as well, we've been going to visit orphanages, we've been going to the hospitals to visit mothers on some celebrated days in the country. It's quite impactful. The smile on the people's faces, I don't know, it just gives me joy.
Great. Post your reign as queen, what are your aspirations?
Okay, so hopefully in December this year, I'm hoping to represent Ghana at Miss Tourism World. Maybe in Japan or Vietnam, depends on what the Miss Tourism World organization brings up. And from there, I'm looking forward to become somebody who is quite influential in the country, not in a bad way, not like some people who are very loud, but I just want to be somebody that young people, especially young ladies, will look up to, and they would like to learn from.
You mentioned your mom pampered you a lot.
Yes.
How's the family dynamics like at home?
We're just two girls, my big sister and I, and then my mother and my dad. So we're just four. I'm the last born, and it's exciting because, like, in quotes, I'm the celebrity of the family. And my dad likes me like this now more than he did when I started. My mother, like, she's always been supportive ever since I was young. She would go for auditions with me. She doesn't mind sitting outside. Just like, I mean, this interview, when I was younger, she wouldn't mind sitting outside till it's so dark in the night, ask the producers how I'm doing. She's been very, very helpful. Very helpful. And my father from the beginning too was like, learn, this is not a thing. So like he's talking to people about modeling, he's like, you learn, see what you are doing, that kind of thing. It was difficult trying to convince him to understand that that's what I wanted to do. But then when he saw that I was really good at it, I think he let it go. But sometimes I feel like he has some restrictions right now, because when he take a picture and he sees it, somebody shows it to me like, you showed your stomach, he showed you this. But hopefully he would understand at some point. Yeah.
What are some myths about being in pageantry or being a model? Can I call you a model?
Yes, because I do photo modeling as well.
What are some myths that you would like to debunk?
The first of them all is that people who model are prostitutes, or they are sex workers, or they sleep with the people they are working with. It is so not true. That is personal preference. So some people like to do that, some people don't. So it's very bad to associate everybody who is into modeling or who is always behind the camera as somebody who is like that. And secondly, to saying that they are always working on their skin and all of that, it's hardly true, because sometimes I just resort to inkuto and then that's it.
Did you ever encounter any such let me call them temptations during your life or during your path?
Yeah, I think I did, because from the beginning, like I said, people would be like, you're skinny, you are dark. And at that time when I wasn't so confident, I was like, or should I bleach my skin? There are thoughts like that sometimes, and I'm like, no. It was very obvious because my mom is dark, my dad is dark, my sister is dark. And if I'm the only one who becomes fair, it will be so obvious. And then I think I got that inspiration also from my mother, because we kind of look alike. Her lips, my lips, her color. So when she smiles, it's nice. Like I see, I'm like, she's pretty, and then I tell myself that I'm not pretty. So I think she will talk you out of things like that when I make comments like, "Hey, you get it." Just that she's not very romantic like some mothers, even though she's very pampering. So once in a while she says that, I see that no, this thing is sincere. She's being very honest.
What's your proudest moment as queen so far?
And my proudest moment as queen so far is when I had a treat at Labadi Beach Hotel, and I took my mother and my sister, and then the hotel manager came down to come and greet my mother. And then my mother was getting up to greet him because like he's somebody of influence, and he was like, no, please sit down. You raised your daughter so well. And like he was complimenting me to my mother. My mother, she was just smiling, and then I liked that whole moment. I got to treat her to a buffet, and my sister, because I was even teasing them some of the things that I eat, like because I'm Miss Tourism, that they never had a chance to eat or they never had a chance to experience. When they're like, hey, so you do this, you greeted the minister, and she's just proud.
The family is very proud of you then.
Very, very proud of me.
Bragging rights right there.
Yes.
Being in pageantry at the scale and level at which you are currently at, Miss World Tourism, or is it Miss Tourism?
Miss Tourism World.
Miss Tourism World. Does that put some pressure on you?
It does, because it's like you're carrying the whole of Ghana on your shoulders when you're going to represent a country outside of the country. Yeah. So it's like you're supposed to represent the people. You're supposed to represent who they are. You're not supposed to fail them. Mind you, people have put money. People are going to sponsor you, your clothes, your tickets and everything. So you're like, what if I go and I fail? Because out there you hear issues of lots of racism, lots of countries coming together, and then you see some countries who bring candidates and then they're like, their skin is so worked on. You can see that this person has been taking milk since they were children, so they are so flexible with their catwalk, and you see that and you're like, hey. Because recently I just saw the person who's going to stand for Philippines, and then I was like, hey, so I'm going to compete against this person. Myself, like, don't mind, she's just fair, that's why you're way prettier. So it's things like that. You have the pressure on you, but then you just have to do it because that's the responsibility you've taken upon yourself.
Nkuto beats bleaching cream every day.
Definitely.
Before the daily affirmations, you've mentioned you had insecurities. You wanted to be more confident. I mean, very, very confident. You were ridiculed. Clearly, you've overcome all of those challenges, if I should call them challenges.
Yeah.
Many people want to be beauty pageants. Of course, every girl dreams of being a princess and wearing a crown. What would you tell them after you've actually become a queen and have a crown?
The main thing you're supposed to know is to learn to be yourself. First of all, you cannot be yourself if you don't know who you are. So read wide, because aside the talents or whatever it is you have, education really plays a key factor in all of this. If you're not educated enough, I don't think brands or people would want to work with you. So educate yourself, read wide, know who you are, know how to relate to people, because a queen is supposed to be gracious. When you walk in a room, people are supposed to realize that there's somebody else in our midst. And so that's the main thing. Learn to be yourself. Don't pretend. Don't try to aspire for the life you know that is not going to serve you right.
Are you in school?
Yes, I'm still in school. I'm in my final year at the University of Media Arts and Communication, GIJ. I'm studying for my Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies. It's precisely public relations.
It's always nice to meet people that walk the talk, meaning you are an advocate for education, and you're currently schooling while still having the title of queen. How does it feel like being on campus? Do you wear this on campus?
No, I don't. I don't wear this on campus. There are times I'm carrying it with me and I'm on campus because maybe I'm from an event or I'm supposed to go to an event. Yes, but then I don't wear this on campus.
You mentioned you would want people to be themselves. After the crown, after the sash, and of course I'm going to vote and advise everyone to vote for you winning Miss World Tourism. After all that, who is Christabel?
Christabel is a model. She is dark-skinned. She would love to project that in everything that she does. She's going to carry her natural hair, obviously, everywhere. And so she'll be looking forward to work with brands that are into promotion of the African identity of the whole race. And then she would look forward to work with people who are embracing lifestyle, fashion. Their main focus is Africa.
The management you've mentioned have been helpful along this journey. It's not the usual story for many pageants. I'm sure you're very grateful to them. Yes, very, very grateful. They treat you like their daughter, because everybody from Miss Tourism calls the CEO Mommy. We call her Mommy because if I hadn't gone to the pageant, I probably didn't know that there was somebody who could pamper me like my mother. But then I got in, and then there was like new food every day. You don't eat leftover. You are having like the best sleep. Sometimes she'll call you and ask you, are the organizers disturbing you? And when you go to her with issues, she's like, don't worry, I'll talk to them. And she calls you my dear girl.
or she calls me Queenie. It's amazing how she looks after us like her own children, because she always says that she wouldn't like somebody to do to us what she wouldn't like them to do to her own children. So I think that's the biggest support I've had from my whole pageant's journey, my organization precisely. And then the people at the Ghana Tourism Authority and the ministry, they're also very helpful. You speak to them, they try to give you contacts of people you can also reach, and then making sure that, okay, after the events, the queens, have they eaten, are they sitting at the right place? They're all very good. And I want to say thank you to all of you and all our sponsors, especially those who give me food, because I love food.
I don't mind you mentioning them by name.
I love Belakwa. Raj, you know I love Belakwa so much. I love Lily. I love the Abna rice, everything that comes with Lily, the whole Lily family group. And then my favorite Bell couple. Please, I'll be coming for more when the new girls come to the camp house. And then Max Beauty for always making me look very beautiful. Thank you for the makeup product. My foundation is getting finished. I'll come for another one. So thank you. I don't want to leave some of the sponsors out because we have a lot. And all the hotels I've been to, and then the ones that I haven't slept in, but then I'm always visiting. Please, thank you very much for the support you've shown Miss Tourism all over the years.
Did you ever think you'd be here?
Not really. At a point I was like, okay, my father doesn't want this, so let me just stick to the normal lifestyle and then go to school like he wants, try and get a first class like he's pressuring me right now still, and then get married along the way if I think I want to get married, have kids, and then have a normal life. But then I was like, no, you can't really please everybody. I'll be sad, because I know myself, I know how adventurous I am. If I'm having like a 9-to-5 job or 8 to 6 or whatever it is, I'll be so bored, so bored. And then I didn't want that, so I had to go look for something else.
I think that's in line with being true to yourself, as you advised everybody before. So let's round up by you giving a message to a younger version of yourself, which I'm sure there are a lot of young people that look up to you. I mean, you've been going all around Ghana with this beautiful crown.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been given the... Can we see your wave? Your wave. Oh my God. What would you tell a younger version of yourself if you had the opportunity to go back in time, since a younger version of yourself would represent a large percentage of the audience that I'm sure are thinking, I want to be queen, I want to wear a crown and a sash?
Okay, so first of all, you're supposed to appreciate the people around you, because you're the ones who are going to guide you to who you become in future. Listen to your parents, but some of the things that when they are telling you, they are forcing you to do, and you know in your heart that I don't want this, find a nice way of letting them know what you really want deep down your heart. Find somebody who is going to be supportive of your dreams, who is going to guide you respectfully to aspire and achieve them. Because when I was younger, if I had gone out like most often as my father had restricted me, I'm sure I would have met a lot of people. I would have slightly gone wayward because I was quite stubborn, quite the same. I turned out great with the love and care from my mother. So please listen to the people around you. Respect people, because you don't know who has the opportunity to take you where you want to be. Respect everyone, no matter who they are.
Fantastic advice. Queen Christabel, it's an honor to have you with us. You've been fantastic. Your words have been very gracious, and we thank you.
Thank you too.
Queen Christabel reminds us, and I would address her as queen until the crown comes off. Reminds us that dreams really do come true, and once we work at it, regardless of our insecurities, regardless of what we think of ourselves, we can create a timeline where we end up in a chair with a crown, with a sash, with the same skin tone, with the same confidence, with the same smile as you were as a kid, asking yourself, how did I get here, with very good answers. So guys, cherry on, see you on the next episode. Thank you very much, Queen.
Thank you too.
Supported by Order and Ease Delivery Only Restaurant and Shots Professional Courses from the League of Entrepreneurs.